Couple goals. Hey guys, what's up? It's me here, J Pineapple, and I'm back again for another video. And today we're going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Toys R Us exclusive Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson 2-pack. So yes, as you guys probably know, some other guys are actually starting to find this. I finally found it at my Toys R Us. It didn't actually take me that long. I just had to go back to my Toys R Us like after everyone else just been seeing it, and I saw it pop up on the Aussie website. So I was like, all right, let's go to Toys R Us. I go to Toys R Us and I find this 2-pack and the Dark Phoenix 2-pack. So that's awesome. But anyway, onto this 2-pack. I got to say, out of both of these figures, I like both of them equally, to be completely honest. We'll get into the reasons why later, but for now, we'll check out the packaging. The packaging is really awesome. Rip the figures, but the packaging is awesome. It's not necessarily awesome. It's nothing really too special. It's like a normal Marvel Legends box. It's actually surprisingly not as big as your regular Marvel Legends box. Here's a Marvel Legends box. Here's the 2-pack box. It's not really that big. Mainly probably because Mary Jane doesn't have that many accessories, and they didn't really feel the need to sort of like make whole lot of room here, and of course they don't have any Build-A-Figure pieces like the regular Marvel Legends do. But anyway, this 2-pack packaging basically just says Spider-Man down the bottom there, has the Legend Series logo there, Spider-Man there, Mary Jane there, Toys R Us logo, and you know, Hasbro, and on one side it shows pictures of the Spider-Man. Of course, that's concept art that it was based on, and the Mary Jane art that it was based on. And on the back of the packaging, it has a cool picture of both of the figures. It has a brief bio of both. And you guys can pause now for that. I'm not going to read it. It says Spider-Man, Mary Jane Watson, and a bunch of legalese. And down the bottom, not really that much else. It has this random security code that pretty much everything in Toys R Us has. And the barcode, UPC if you guys want to go check it out in your Toys R Us's. And all that stuff. So, yeah, let's just get into the figures now. We'll get into the Spider-Man first, and then we'll get into the Mary Jane. And here are Spider-Man's accessories, guys, and I gotta say, nice accessories. It comes with 3 pairs of hands. He comes with these fist hands, which mostly, for the most part, I think they have some pretty decent paint-ups for the most part. I don't really see that many splotches, at least on my figure, for the hands. I don't really see that many splotches with the paint, for the web work anyway. It does look kind of messy and kind of uneven at some parts, but it's not really anything splotchy. Not really that I can see on these fists. Yeah, I am looking at it in real life, and I can't really see any splotches. So I guess clean paintwork for the fist hands and these web slinging hands. He also comes with web flipping hands, which do look pretty cool. And I do like these hands. The hinges are up and down hinges for all the hands, by the way. They're the normal hinges, of course. And yeah, basically overall, I think my 2-pack had I got one of the good Spider-Man for paint apps on the hands at least. We'll get into the action figure itself in a minute, but at least for the hands, it doesn't really seem to be that there is any real splotchy paint for the webs. It just looks kind of a bit uneven in some areas. Like you can see that there's very thin lines for the hands here, and then they don't really connect with these with the pattern that they've been doing here. So it looks kind of weird in some areas, but it doesn't necessarily take away. I think it actually kind of adds a bit to the figure. I think it should look a little different. It should look a bit more even, but that's really just a nitpick, to be quite honest. I still think these look perfectly fine for Spider-Man hands. I can't really see any paint apps, any paint splotches on these, so I gotta say, good job, Hasbro. Yeah, really good job on the paint work on the hands, Hasbro. So yeah, obviously the main thing about this whole figure, about the Spider-Man figure, is the Peter Parker head sculpt, and yeah, it looks really, really good. I am very impressed with this head sculpt. I like the way the hair is sculpted. It looks like it's just a flat brown, but that's basically what Peter Parker looks like in the comics. I think it's just a coincidence that we're reviewing a Spider-Man figure, and this thing has Spider-Man on it, so I think it's a bit of a coincidence, but clean paintwork for the eyes, for the most part. I don't think it looks derpy like they always used to, basically. I think it looks great. There is a bit of a, there is some, I don't know what to call that, but that kind of looks a bit weird. Some plastic stress or whatever that is. It looks kind of weird, kind of distracts from the sculpt, depending on which poses you put the figure in, kind of distracts from the head sculpt. But it's not really too noticeable, but it could distract if you pose it like... If you pose it from looking on the side, it could distract from the face sculpt. So I don't know what I feel about that line there. But for the most part, decent head sculpt. Of course, he comes with his masked head sculpt, and this is the all-new, basically all-new, all-different Spider-Man. And this is actually a reuse of the superior Spider-Man head sculpt. And I gotta say, yeah, it's a good reuse. And this one is a bit bashed up because it is my first Marvel Legend I ever got. Bit of nostalgia here. I very much like the fact that they have used this head sculpt instead of the Pizza Spidey head sculpt. I think this is actually a much better head sculpt, to be completely honest, and I think it fits the figure. I actually quite like the way that this blue this blue shading goes throughout the whole figure. I think it makes actually adds to the figure's coolness, and the fact that it's Spider-Man's current outfit makes it that much better. So really awesome paintwork for the hands and the heads. Let's move on to the actual figure itself now, shall we? And here's the head sculpt, guys. I already went over it. Pretty much clean paint apps on the head sculpt. Where it gets a bit messy is this near the spider logo. There is a bit of red bleeding through there, which kind of looks weird. I don't know what happened there. I just picked basically the first one I saw because I was that excited to find this 2-pack. Yeah, I don't really like that red splotch there. It's kind of annoying, and there is a bit of a splotch in that black as well, which is actually quite noticeable, so that kind of sucks. But I do still think that this spider logo does look cool. It doesn't really look like there's any other really real bad paint apps. It looks like all the lines are clean. At least on my figure, it looks like most of the lines are clean. I guess that shoulder joint there could have a little bit more paint there, but I won't really complain because it's not really too distracting from the rest of the webs. This back spider here does look really cool. I quite like that. And yeah, nothing really to complain here about paint apps. I will say it does look kind of weird here on the waist. It looks kind of awkward and weird, but you don't really notice it because you mostly see the figure posed from the front. You don't really see the side of the waist that often, so I'm not really complaining about that. I do like the way. I do not like the way that these red pegs show. I do think that Hasbro should have done something about that. Either painted them blue or have like half colored hinges, pegs, but I don't know. And they're on the arms as well, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, I guess you could hide that in your poses, but honestly, I think Hasbro should have gone ahead and painted those. They did it for figures like Electro. You guys can see that they did do it for Electro. They painted that bit of gold there on that green hinge, which I quite liked. But here they just were lazy and they didn't paint it blue at all, so that kind of sucks. Apart from that, though, I don't really think there's any real paint blemishes on this figure. Like, besides the chest, I don't really think there's many paint blemishes to really go over. Like, you know, I think it's a pretty clean figure. It's a clean fig, guys. Looks like we got a clean one. Alright, awesome. Let's get into the articulation. You guys should be familiar with Spider-Man, with this Spider-Man mold. It is the normal Pizza Spider-Man body mold, basically. The head is on a ball hinge, so it does move up quite a bit, and it does move down a fair amount, and it does move side to side. No real head pivot, at least at this head. The Peter Parker head, if you guys were wondering, I don't think it has that much more articulation than it might. Yeah, actually, the Peter Parker head sculpt has a bit more articulation. You can actually get the head to look up a bit more. You can get the head to look down practically into his chest with the Peter Parker hair sculpt, and obviously side to side, and a bit of pivot there. So that actually has different articulation for both of the heads. So yeah, most people didn't notice that, and I actually pointed it out for you guys. So you're welcome. There is an armpit joint in the shoulders, which do allow for some really cool articulation, right? So I do enjoy that butterfly joint there. Arms are on standard bull hinge joints as well on the butterfly joints, so they swivel, and they of course hinge outwards horizontally, and there is a bicep swivel along with a double hinge for the elbow, so good bending at the elbow. A nice articulation for the wrists. There is a swivel and a hinge that goes up and down. There is an ab crunch joint that moves forward a decent amount, and it also moves backward that much. So really nice articulation for the ab. Waist swivel turns all the way around. It does kind of look weird the more you turn it, so I would suggest trying to not turn it as much during your posing, because it kind of will look a little weird. Legs kick forward pretty far amount. They will kick forward even more like that, basically. Yeah, could you actually probably can turn it 360 there. That's hilarious. They don't really go outwards that much. There is a thigh swivel that goes all the way around, of course. There's of course a double hinge at the knee, so nice articulation there. Hinge at the foot that moves backwards that much, forwards that much, and an ankle rocker for the feet. So really nice articulation for this Spider-Man figure, and the two peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So this Spider-Man figure is definitely a nice Spidey figure to add to your collection if you don't already have the Pizza Spider-Man. This is definitely an awesome figure to have, like me. I very much enjoy having this figure. So yeah, let's get on to the Mary Jane figure, shall we? Let's just get this figure into an awesome pose, and then we'll move on to Mary Jane. Let's go, guys. And the only accessory Mary Jane comes with is this sort of purse thing that's reused over and over again, basically, with all Marvel Legends. Green Goblin had this, and the Hobgoblin also shop at the same store and have the same sort of purse. So that's interesting. It's got some nice detail. I do like the sort of look of this purse. I do like the fact that Hasbro went ahead and paint the buckle and the sort of button thing there. So that's awesome. Good job on Hasbro for the paint apps, although I don't really think this is really that useful, and I don't really pose Mary Jane with this that often, but if you guys are wondering how you sort of put this on Mary Jane, you sort of just grab your MJ figure, you pop off the head, if it'll pop off, and you just slide this over, and make sure her arms also up like this, slide it over her arm and her head, and sort of just position it how you want. And pop the head back on, and boom. That's how you pop it on MJ. So let's get into the figure itself now, shall we? Actually, why not? Let's just not cut it. Yeah, okay, so guys, the head sculpt, I think, looks awesome. I like this MJ head sculpt. I even like the fact that the hair sort of, like, fades into this dark color. I think that actually makes the figure look so much cooler with that hair, and I think it looks quite cool. I do like the freckles in there. I think the freckles are done really nicely. It's kind of subtle while you're posing the figure around. It looks kind of subtle, but really good job with those freckles. I do like the way the eyes look. They're painted very nicely. They're not derpy like other Marvel Legends figures are. I do like the way the lipstick looks. Eyebrows look decent. Nice paint apps overall for the head. I gotta say, the rest of the figure, yeah, decent paint apps. I don't really think there's many paint apps really on this MJ figure. Arms look decent. You know, decently looking arms. I like the way these jeans look. These jeans have this sort of like, I don't know, they got this bit of a light blue shading throughout, which makes them look like denim jeans a lot more. So I really do like that touch that Hasbro had for their figure. So yeah, I really do like the texture of the jeans. I reckon they very much do look like real legit jeans. So good job on Hasbro for that. I like all these wrinkles throughout. And, you know, decent. I like all the pockets on the back. You know, I like it. I like it. I like it. I will say though, the feet could be done a bit better, but I won't really blame Hasbro for that. That's kind of hard to do. I think Hasbro should have actually just molded it in a different type of plastic. But that's just me thinking that, you know, that would probably never happen anyway. Anyway, I still do like the look of these flats. Anyway, you know, they're just this plain black. So yeah. Anyway, articulation-wise, the head can move up. Let's see. That's as far as it'll go. Move up that much. Surprisingly, that's actually not that bad. Yeah, that's actually not bad, I guess. It's not terrible, but it's not really the best. I'm trying to force it up a bit more, but I guess that's decent looking up. It actually looks like MJ actually looks like she's looking up, so that's good. The figure's head can move down as well. The figure's hair is actually kind of rubbery. It's somewhat rubbery. So that's alright, I guess. Swivel side to side for the head, and no real neck pivot. Arms move up that much, better than horizontal, and they do swivel all the way around. There's no bicep swivel, there's a hinge at the elbow, single hinge, and there's also a swivel there, so I guess there's no real need for the bicep swivel because there's a swivel at the hinge. Swivels for both hands and hinges that move up and down. Diaphragm joint, simple diaphragm joint, normal, swivels all the way around, crunches forward a little bit, crunches back further, and there's also a pivot there at the diaphragm joint. Legs kick forward decent amount, they don't really kick back that far, they kick outwards further than Spider-Man, so I don't know why. Thigh cut, double joint at the knee. Hinge at the foot that moves backwards that much and forwards decent amount as well, and there's an ankle rocker for the feet, so decent articulation with the MJ as well, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet, so yeah, pretty nice articulation for MJ here. So overall, I think this is actually quite a cool set, guys. I very much think that this is actually quite a nice set. I do like the MJ figure, and I like the Peter Parker figure. I think this is a cute pose here. I think this is really awesome. Thanks Hasbro for giving us finally a Mary Jane figure. I've been wanting one for a while, and I've been wanting a Spider-Man figure for a while as well. A decent Spider-Man. This is a decent Spider-Man. I like this set. I highly recommend you guys pick this set up if you haven't already done so. Make sure to hit the like button on this review if you enjoyed it, and make sure to comment below your thoughts of this review and the set and what you think about it. And yeah, if you guys do enjoy my videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that way you'll never miss one of my videos, and hit the notification bell if you're already subscribed. Come on, mate. Alright, so thank you for watching my video, and if you guys I'm not going to repeat it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay pineapple out. Have a good day. Peace. Cute.